I'm sure you'll be able to figure this out, but the numerous people who succeed with Atomy are all... Hello, I am Crown Master Boum Soo Kim. A way for products to sell without you selling them. I was a person that started my business because I was confident it would be successful after a careful analysis. The company, their products, and the marketing was all great. But I'm the kind of person that has trouble asking for favors. So I was worried, how could I possibly sell something? That was my biggest concern. The bottom line of my story is that although you're bad at selling, or if you have trouble asking for favors, you can still succeed with Atomy. Let me tell you how I overcame this difficulty of mine. First of all, I changed the way of thinking. With this price and this quality, by selling Atomy products, I'm not just selling products, but I'm helping people change their lives by doing my job. This is what I kept telling myself. The more I kept repeating this, I began to open up to everyone. Our chairman once said that we shouldn't try to sell products to others, but to ourselves. As long as the products are good enough, even people who have trouble selling can succeed in their businesses. Rather than focusing on the action of selling, focus on understanding the value of the products. People who truly appreciate Hemohim can't help but share it with others. I'm not just trying to sell something here. If you're exhausted, try this. This isn't just selling. This is possible because you have discovered products that will sell on their own because of their qualities. Personally, I was blown away by our sunscreen product. I've worked abroad for a long time, and I've always loved golf, so sunscreen has always been a necessity. In the past, I had tried all sorts of products, and I settled down with a certain brand. But after starting the Atomy business, I asked one of our female employees to make a recommendation, and she bought an Atomy sunscreen and gave it to me. I didn't even know how much it cost when I started to use it. But then I discovered it was amazing. It felt the same as my old sunscreen. So I asked, how much is this? And she told me it was 7,651. 7,651, not 76,501? And she replied, yes. I checked the volume, and it was 60 milliliters. The sunscreen that I used before was 50 milliliters. I tried it, and it was great. So I did some research, and I found out that the manufacturer of the Atomy cosmetics is a global company named Colmar. It's a global company with 13 factories in 9 different countries around the world. And the other sunscreen was also made in a factory in Europe. So even if they were both made by the same manufacturer, the other brand was selling their sunscreen at 90,000 won, while Atomy was selling theirs at 7,650 won. That was where I was impressed initially. But the more I learned about Atomy, the more impressed I became. As you probably already know, all of the successful people at Atomy are all crazy about Atomy products. They're initially blown away by Hemohim and the cosmetics, then they gradually change all of their everyday necessities, which leads to changing markets, then naturally begin to understand the business. Changing markets and increasing the number of impressing products, that's what will determine the speed of your business. But that's not all. When I had trouble selling products, like I told you earlier, I realized something. If someone under my leg sells better than I can, it's no different from me selling extremely well. I thought I should get that person to understand Atomy and be impressed so that person can recruit even more people. This was the way I could sell without me actually selling anything. To recruit well, I took a step back. Now you might be thinking, I'm going to make this person become a member no matter what. I'm going to sell another product to this person. But this is exactly what you need to stop thinking. This is how you'll be able to recruit more. Because if you have that obsession, others will sense that and start to feel burdened. They'll raise their guard on you. So when you invite them to a seminar, they'll say no. They'll say no to trying a product. Even if the product's great, they'll say it's bad. So keep it light and just talk about you. You take a look at a person and you can tell they're tired. Don't go, try him or him. Try, I stayed up all night working and I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. I would probably have passed out if I didn't have a him or him. Try saying something like that. Talk about your experience. Then, when they ask you, that's when you start talking. That's when you invite them. And when it's time to ask them to join, if you say, this is completely free, just join, it'll help you in so many ways. Now, most people might say yes, but there will be some that say no. That's when you have to really put in your effort. You have to be able to say, okay, that's fine too. If you go, hey, I thought we were friends, how could you say no? Everything's ruined. But you have to remember to end with this. I'm always going to be in this business. So if you're ever interested in Atomy, or if you want to register as a member, come to me. You have to remember this last comment. And after a while, they'll watch you work with all your might. And mark my words, more people will want to join. So don't try to complete everything at the first try. Keep it light, but let them know that you're proud of the Atomy business. And then, the last bit to selling without actually selling is education. People who know that it's beneficial to purchase repeatedly and know that they can also make money are bound to keep purchasing even if you try to stop them. And they'll also keep sharing with others. So even if you don't actively try to sell anything, that person will continue to bring in the sales. In the end, everything comes down to education. But this isn't possible by training. It's only possible through inviting. How do you invite people? First, make sure you invite them in advance. Some people make the mistake of inviting people just a couple days before a seminar. Hey, want to come? That's not how you do it. You have to ask them and confirm a month in advance. And the more important thing is that you shouldn't rely on their initial acceptance to come. You should anticipate them calling later on and saying they can't make it. So, you call them a few days prior to the seminar and go, you said you were coming, right? I have your tickets and everything prepared. That's what you tell them. Now, even if you do this, something urgent might come up and they might not make it at the last minute. You have to understand this kind of emergency. People who make a mistake at this point go, I already checked with you twice, or you have to come. Never say that. What should you say? Really? Next month's seminar is scheduled for this day. How about then? That's how you should respond. And don't forget, something might happen next month as well. After this happens 2 or 3 times in a row, there's a big chance that they'll eventually attend an event. So don't have these high expectations about invitations. And be careful about trying to get people to come on the first try. You have to try numerous times in advance. Also, when someone turns you down, you have to make the next appointment. Remember these 3 points, and there's a big chance your next invitation will be successful. To be honest, I did a poor job at selling at first. I couldn't ask for favors, and I had another business overseas. I started my Atomy business as a part-timer, so I was always busy. My sponsor said to me one day, even if you can't put in all your time into this, just make sure you don't miss the monthly success seminar. That's all you need to keep your business running. And while I kept that promise, I made a promise with myself. What was it? Never attend a seminar alone. That was my goal. You have to work hard to bring someone along. Isn't that a given to make $100 million a month? That's the least you can do. You should have your own goals. Whether that goal is inviting a certain number of people or something else. If you are determined to bring at least 1 or 2 people to every seminar, you should invite even more than that. You can invite several people, so even if 1 or 2 don't show up, you'll be able to reach your goal. It'll be a wonder if you don't succeed with Atomy. Were you inspired at today's seminar? then you'll definitely be able to succeed. Because you were impressed by the products. Why is it difficult for people to succeed? Why do you think that's the case? Because they don't put the things they hear into practice. They don't succeed because they hear something but don't realize it. Write this all down and try it. See if it works or not. It all starts with trying out a daily necessity and how impressed you are by that product. That feeling you felt here at Atomy today will guide you to success. Like fate. Let's focus on being inspired by more products. Instead of just selling things, sell it to yourself. And experience being impressed by Atomy products. You were all impressed by the products here today. Am I right? As long as you're impressed, you'll be able to succeed. Then, in that sense, in hopes of everyone reaching their goals, when I shout out products, you shout impress. Products! 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 Thank you. I wish you all great success.